You're standing on your land at dawn, frost crunching beneath your boots, and somewhere across that valley a sound rolls toward you like a diesel engine turning over in January cold. Most people hear noise. You hear money. Because what you are about to discover in the next few minutes could be the single decision that separates your operation from every flat-broke homestead around you. And once you know it, you cannot unknow it. We are talking about the two most financially devastating waterfowl breeds on the planet. And I promise you, most producers are running the wrong one. Stay with me, because by the end of this video you will know exactly which heavyweight goose belongs on your land, which one is quietly destroying profit margins for people who do not understand what we are about to break down, and what the pros are doing right now to stack both advantages into one single flock. Do not skip ahead. The answer is not where you think it is. Number 1. The walking fortress of France. The Toulouse powerhouse. The Toulouse goose is a biological siege tank built through generations of brutal selection for one unforgiving purpose: the massive accumulation of weight and energy reserves. Originating from the lush agricultural plains of southern France, this titan carries an unmistakable profile: a massive hanging dewlap, a deep keel that practically sweeps the mud off the barnyard floor, an imposing chassis that radiates pure gravity. Flock sires reach a staggering 26.5 pounds in their prime, while maternal base settles comfortably around the 20-pound mark. That extreme anatomical frame dictates every single aspect of physical management on your homestead. And here is where most new producers get blindsided. You cannot force a Toulouse to scale steep hills or forage across rugged terrain, because their load-bearing joints were simply not built for poultry mountaineering. They demand flat, accessible pasture and a facility strategy that prevents abrasive chest injuries from constant friction against hard ground. These are slow, deliberate movers, a blessing for your perimeter fencing, but serious red flag under heavy predator pressure. A swift fox or a stray dog will find a Toulouse an easy target, because this breed lacks the aerobic engine to mount a fast escape. Experienced producers know the perimeter must be impenetrable before a single bird touches the ground. Their temperament is famously docile, making them a strong choice for family operations where the risk of animal strikes must stay at zero. But that same placid nature hides a severe technical challenge that will cost you if you're not watching for it. Because of their immense wingspan and extremely low-hanging underbelly, successful mating on dry land is an almost impossible mission that frequently results in unfertilized eggs and physical injuries to breeding females. For Toulouse genetics to flow and hatch rates to stay strong, the breeder must provide deep water troughs or dedicated mating ponds, where neutral buoyancy offsets the crushing weight of the heavy male. That infrastructure is a real cost, and you need to price it into your operation before you ever buy your first bird. On the veterinary front, their natural biological drive to store fat makes them extremely susceptible to hepatic breakdown and sudden heart failure if you feed high-energy grain outside the strict finishing window. This heavyweight demands a sharp eye, heavy enough to honor the breed standard, mobile enough so the heart can pump blood through that mountain of flesh without collapsing during summer heat. Getting that balance wrong is expensive. Number 2. The Northern Siege Unit, the Emden Infantry. If the Toulouse is a slow defensive tank, the Emden Goose is a rapid assault armored vehicle packed with dense muscle and an attitude that demands immediate respect from every corner of the barnyard. Clad in immaculate white, with piercing blue eyes and bright orange beak, these German titans stand tall and vertical, functioning as a permanent early warning radar system across your entire property. They hit the same staggering 26.5 pounds, but they distribute that tonnage in a completely different mechanical fashion. Here is what separates them, and pay close attention because this is where most side-by-side comparisons miss the most critical data. The Emden is tight, athletic, and completely lacks the hanging fat lobes that weigh the French giant down. That structural difference gives them a ground speed and a foraging lethality that leaves the Toulouse struggling to keep up. They are grass-devouring machines actively patrolling your perimeter, covering vast acreage, and shredding rough pasture with brutal efficiency. Their build turns them into exceptional guardians. An Emden gander will never stand by while a threat approaches his flock. He will lower his neck, deploy that massive wingspan, and charge like a freight train against coyotes, stray dogs, and any homesteader who crosses into his territory during breeding season. That protective aggression is a double-edged sword. Stepping into an Emden enclosure requires thick leather boots, situational awareness, and a strict rule of never turning your back, which lowers their appeal on a farm with small children running free. That is a real consideration, and I want you to have that information before you make any decisions. In exchange for that volatile temperament, the Emden delivers a fertility rate and hybrid vigor that demolishes the competition. Their athletic build allows them to copulate with overwhelming success on solid dry ground, completely eliminating the logistical cost of building and maintaining artificial mating ponds. Hatch rates are strong. Goslings hit the ground with wild survival instinct and grow at a rate that shrinks the vulnerability window against aerial predators faster than any other heavyweight breed. Nutritionally, they resist lethal obesity naturally, channeling pasture protein directly into lean, dense, premium-grade carcass. On the battlefield of profit margins, the Emden requires less water infrastructure, fewer reproductive interventions, and defends its feed investment with ferocity. Number 3. The cellulose shredder. Feed conversion and rustic grazing. To understand the true financial engine of heavyweight geese, treat them like miniature cattle. Their digestive tract is optimized to ferment cellulose and extract deep nutrition from tough forage, converting cheap weeds into high-value protein. This is the arena where the real operational decision gets made, and the difference on your spreadsheet is significant. The Toulouse, operated with metabolism geared toward storing reserves, demands soft, succulent, and highly digestible pasture. Force this breed into a rugged plot full of fibrous weeds and woody stems, and their growth curve nosedives. You will be subsidizing their diet with expensive bags of commercial feed just to build out that massive skeletal frame. They thrive on thick green carpets of clover and alfalfa, where they can take a single step, gorge themselves, and sit down to process the fuel. That dependence on premium forage drives up the cost per pound of meat in any operation that lacks pristine grazing land. The Emden, in sharp contrast, operates as a ruthless pasture mercenary. Their natural drive pushes them to attack tough stems, shallow roots, and marginal weeds that Toulouse would walk past without interest. A flock of Emdens deployed in intensive rotational grazing acts like a precision biological brush hog, clearing land with unmatched efficiency while demanding a fraction of the supplemental grain. They will consume up to 2.2 pounds of fresh forage per day, fueling muscular growth through raw conversion of the cheapest resources on your property. However, the hidden danger on severely depleted pastures is that their high-performance bodies will begin cannibalizing their own muscle reserves if the grass lacks basic nitrogen and core minerals. The astute producer deploys the Emden to work the initial rotations, using their jaw strength and weather resistance to transform harsh ground into productive fields and build a feed independence that financially bulletproofs the entire operation. Number 4. The frontline nursery, maternal aptitude, and reproductive machinery. Securing the next generation turns your maternity ward into a high-stakes environment where raw instinct clashes against the physical laws of body weight. And this is where the data will surprise you. The Emden female immediately assumes the role of a fierce, uncompromising mother. She constructs a heavily fortified nest at ground level and defends it with lethal intent against any passing shadow. Her nesting area requires total strategic isolation and solid visual barricades to prevent her from draining core energy by attacking perimeter wire every time she detects unusual movement. The colossal Toulouse female, on the other hand, embodies a very different kind of motherhood. Her lethargic temperament makes her exceptionally docile in the quiet intimacy of the nest, but her sheer body mass represents a direct and constant mechanical threat to her own offspring. Without unusually wide nest boxes at ground level packed with deep, soft straw bedding, the risk of her accidentally crushing her eggs while shifting weight becomes a logistical nightmare that will sink your flock replacement rates season after season. In raw field metrics, the numbers tell the complete story. A fully mature Emden female will hand you between 30 and 45 massive eggs per year. A pure Toulouse line barely reaches 20 to 30 under the same conditions. Both breeds demand strict rations with an 18% protein profile and concentrated calcium to sustain the physical toll of producing eggs that tip the scales at 6.3 ounces. However, the absolute maximum technical alert comes the moment you step into the incubation room. The giant eggs of the Toulouse possess exceptionally thick and highly porous shells, demanding military-grade calibration of your thermal machines. Humidity must hover precisely between 65 and 70%, paired with rigorous daily cooling and manual misting protocols. Ignore this choreography and you will watch massive embryonic suffocation unfold just days before the hatch. Furthermore, due to the crushing pelvic strain of producing those giant eggs, Toulouse females suffer a significantly elevated rate of fatal prolapses if they enter laying season carrying extreme abdominal fat. Number 5. Thermal armor, climate resistance, and extreme adaptation. Pushing these heavyweights to their operational ceiling means understanding exactly how each one performs under most unforgiving weather patterns you can throw at them. The Emden is an all-terrain armored vehicle strategically built for intense winter combat. Their pure white plumage is incredibly tight and dense, creating a biological hydrophobic shield that instantly repels freezing rain, aggressive sleet, and bone-chilling wind. A robust flock of Emden breeders can weather wild blizzards sleeping directly on hard snow without missing a beat, demanding minimal shelter, nothing more than a simple roof between them and the sky. The Toulouse, in stark contrast, wears a loose, sagging feather coat that lacks the surface tension to repel environmental moisture effectively. Their massive low-hanging underbelly acts like a giant walking sponge, absorbing freezing mud straight from pasture. Managing the Toulouse in wet, dark, and frigid climates corners you into building enormous bone-dry pavilions fully isolated from the wind, with thick warm straw beds that must be replaced every single morning. If cold moisture penetrates their loose plumage and reaches bare skin, this colossus will shed core body heat in record time, exposing basal joints to frostbite and structural damage that ends production runs permanently. When the pendulum swings to the suffocating summer months, the landscape flips completely. Both breeds suffer intensely once the thermometer pushes past 8 to 6 degrees, but the bulky Toulouse faces imminent cardiovascular collapse. Engineered to hoard subcutaneous fat, it finds it mechanically impossible to dissipate the intense internal heat radiating from its massive pectorals. As flock manager, you are forced into emergency protocols, massive deep shade structures, high-volume troughs with perpetually fresh water, and foraging hours shifted exclusively to the cool shadows of dawn. Forcing a Toulouse to forage under midday summer sun is not a risk. It is a death sentence via explosive heat stroke. The Emden, with its leaner muscle mass, ventilates core temperature with notable efficiency. The most critical sanitary alert for both breeds in swampy, hot, waterlogged soil is severe pododermatitis, a condition that proves crippling for heavy waterfowl. The constant downward pressure of a 26.5-pound bird crushing softened footpads creates deep fissures that invite aggressive manure-borne bacteria, sparking rapid systemic infections that will flatline your production overnight. This is not a theoretical risk. It happens fast and it is costly. Number 6. The master hybridization play. The strategic F1 cross. Now here's intelligence most producers never reach, because they stop comparing breeds before they get to this section. If you're still watching, you're already ahead of the majority of homesteaders making waterfowl decisions right now. And what comes next is the reason the most profitable operations are not running purebreds at all. For the producer who refuses to choose between the rapid strike capability of an armored vehicle and the sheer tonnage of a walking fortress, the field offers a hidden game changer: the biological magic of hybrid vigor. By crossing a highly aggressive Emden sire with massive Toulouse females, you construct the ultimate heavy machinery, an F1 Goose that inherits the tight thermal armor from the German bloodline, easily repelling the night frost that would break a purebred bird, while drawing the bulk and energy accumulation genetics from the French line. The temperament of the F1 cross is the sleeper advantage that the numbers alone cannot fully capture. It successfully deactivates the explosive territorial trigger of the Emden, but injects just enough locomotive vitality to keep the hybrid flock actively patrolling the acreage. On the facility side, this strategic cross takes enormous financial pressure off the breeder. These robust hybrids do not demand deep mating ponds to sustain healthy fertility, adapting with astonishing ease to well-drained dirt pens and simple rustic shelters, operating every single day as peaceful but highly vigilant watchmen across your property. On the nutritional front lines, this crossbred battalion functions as a high-powered forage vacuum, merging the relentless grazing instinct of the Emden with the Toulouse's innate capacity to pack away high-octane energy reserves. Turn them loose into fall stubble packed with sweet corn drop and mature native grasses, and they transform that rustic diet into imposing frames that effortlessly break the 22-pound live weight barrier. This is precisely where they achieve natural domination in the realm of premium pâtés and high-value gourmet livers. Their F1 genetics unlock generous hepatic accumulation through simple, abundant free choice feeding, delivering an exceptionally valuable end product without ever touching the controversial industrial practices of force feeding. You hold highly ethical, top-tier profitability in your own hands. One non-negotiable sanitary alert for F1 producers. Because of the sheer speed and intensity with which these birds inhale their grain rations, you must supply large quantities of coarse granite grit alongside perpetually fresh water. A fatal crop impaction will shut down the engine of your best investment in a matter of hours. Do not skip this. In the unforgiving chess match of pasture management, choosing between these biological powerhouses comes down entirely to your specific topography and your end goals. The massive Toulouse is a slow-burning luxury with an incredibly docile nature. It demands pristine flat green plains, mandatory water infrastructure, and clinical precision in the incubation room. It is a specialized investment built for the patient producer looking to capitalize on premium fat reserves while carefully managing the extreme risks of animal obesity in a highly controlled environment. On the flip side, the F1 cross and the pure Emden represent shock infantry and raw self-sufficiency, conquering rough terrain and hitting massive weights at a speed that Toulouse simply cannot match. And here's what the most successful producers already know that the average homesteader does not. The producers who are quietly winning right now are not arguing about which breed is better. They are running the strategic hybrid system, stacking both advantages and capturing premium market positions that purebreed operators are completely locked out of. That window of opportunity is open right now. The question is whether you are positioned to take it. Subscribe and drop a comment below and tell me which variety makes the most sense for your specific setup. I read every single one. If this breakdown gave you real operational value, hit that subscribe button right now and give the video a thumbs up. We put out deep dive production content that the mainstream farming channels are not covering: pasture mechanics, breed comparisons, financial modeling for small acreage operations. If you leave without subscribing, the next breakdown goes out to everyone else and you will be the last one to know. Livestock Labs is where serious small acreage producers come to stay ahead. To your success, fellow breeder. See you in the next one.